And this is Alternative Mindsets. We're about to dig into very pertinent issues in the country. Tomorrow, December the 10th, is World Human Rights Day. What does this mean for Nigerians? A good number of Nigerians are still behind bars from the most recent End Bad Governance protests, right? We still have Nigerians we haven't found from the what was it, the one that happened in 2020, NSAS, from the NSAS protest. What does human rights mean to the country? I have two gentlemen with me in the house today looking rather dashing than any other thing. Starting with you, Mr. Peter, how's your day coming?
So far, so well.
And how's your day coming?
I'm good.
These men didn't see me for 4 days, and none of them said they missed me, so I'm looking for another job.
We didn't say it because we did not.
Exactly, that's the point. You should miss me. The only person that said missed me, I won't say, but somebody did. Yes. So now let's get into the matters of human rights, and as it regards to this, the protesters that have been taken away, that have been arrested. Some of them have not even been arraigned. They've just been dumped in a jail cell somewhere, as it goes in Nigeria, right? It's almost a norm that certain people get arrested and they're just left arrested like that, right? Now, in the context of End Bad Governance protesters still being in this detention, is there anything for Nigeria to celebrate on this day, or is it just a reminder of something that we completely lack?
No, there's always something to celebrate once there is life. Because when there is life, they say there is hope. But in essence, what you call life might not be what is intended to be. Talking about human rights, human rights are those rights that are meant for humans, not for animals. So when people are now being treated like animals, eventually their rights are being trampled upon. But there is a caveat there in all this. Let's be very much specific in this protest. Your rights should also not be used to curtail another person's rights. Right. For example, when they say, okay, you're going to protest, when you're protesting, it has to be peaceful. You should not be protesting and be preventing people from using the road. You should not be protesting and be telling workers not to go to work. You are the one that have chosen to protest. You should not make it compulsory that everybody must be at home. We have seen cases where protesters come out, block the road, start burning tires, start doing all those, preventing other road users from using.
I mean, was that the case at the end, Governor, the last protest?
Yes, I was.
Was it the protesters that did that, or was it the police?
I was outside. I don't know those arrests. I was outside at the Uye Bridge. I was forced to check my phone to be sure where I was going and what I was doing. They realized that I was putting on shots. And I was forced to hit them, otherwise they would have smashed my vehicle.
By the protesters?
Yes, by the protesters. So that is not to say that we are supporting government choosing method of not allowing people to protest. Mm-hmm. Because when you now try to stop people from protesting at all, you help in pushing them towards becoming violent. In everything we do, it's about balance. When the people say we are going to protest for certain dates, I expect a democratic government to allow them to protest. Tell them where they can safely protest. If you think that allowing them to move around might cause obstruction to those other road users, for example, I'm just using road in this case. Then, okay, for example, using Abuja, you can use Egu Square. You can gather at Egu Square. Okay, you can gather somewhere in Area 1. Okay, you can gather somewhere in Gwagwalada. Okay, we can reserve some place for you people to gather. The idea is Egu Square might not be available for you to use because so activities will also be going on there. Communicate with the people. Do not try to tell people that they cannot protest simply because they will become a security risk. Nobody tells you not to go out of your house today because there will be accident. Yeah. But road safety tells you and ensure you still leave your house and still move safely. They can protest without being hijacked.
Now we've seen where protesters come out peacefully in Nigeria, and you either see thugs come to hijack it, paid thugs come to hijack it with machetes, brand new machetes, or we see the police, like in the last one, come and they're not even trying to de-escalate anything. The first thing you see is tear gassing people, they're chasing people around, shooting bullets in the air. Do you think that is supposed to deter people from exercising their human rights?
No, it shouldn't deter people. It will even encourage them. My issue with this planned protest for tomorrow is that they've announced it. Nigerian police are aware. We're being a country of funny characters. Nigerian police will go, maybe probably by end of this day, go and get a restraining order. You are aware of this protest quite a while, but they've announced it. They won't do anything to the last minute. You go and get a court order to stop people from protesting. It is the constitutional right to air their view, to air their grievances. As long as it's within the ambit of the law, you should allow it. So trying to stop it, to end it, is not going to work. Why are people protesting? Okay, look at what they're saying. The reason for protesting. The reason to protest is that some people have been behind bar for protesting for long. If they've not been charged to court, they've been languishing in prison. Some have gone a year plus. Some have gone 2 years plus. Why are they still be kept there? How come they've not had a day in court? That is the things that's the reason for protesting, for calling people to come out. Let's drag government's attention to this. What they're trying to do is they're trying to drag government attention to what is happening. Peradventure, the power in place is not aware. This is to make them aware.
Do you think it works, though? From precedents, do you think protests are actually effective in Nigerian, space?
I wouldn't say it doesn't work. It's just that once the Nigerian government denied the reality, nobody will tell me that ESAS didn't work. ESAS made a statement which by itself ended that department in police. It works. So that most times, Nigerian government will sponsor a counter-protest. Now they'll say it's violent. That counter-protest, those people they are supposed to will become violent. You classify the whole protest as a violent protest. Why? You should ask, why are people protesting? Why can't you address the reason for their protests? Why can't you look into their demands? People are protesting because they are agitated by a thing, because they are not satisfied with something happening. If they are hungry, they have the right to speak up. That's why that I'm hungry, that you're hungry, they'll try to gather together. What's wrong with that? Government, maybe you're not aware that we're hungry. We are hungry. The economic policy has done this to us. So as for me, protest is a way of drawing government's attention to a current hour's reality, and they should allow it be.
Well, one of the things you mentioned in your opening statement was, the government saying, oh, you can go to these grounds and protest there. Let's take, for example, the Eagles Square. How effective is that going to be, given that the government of the day can just decide to ignore you? You'll be there for 70 years, and this is me exaggerating, and they really don't care about that. Do you think that the people's behavior is a reflection of the negligence of their needs by the government? Because several times we've seen people come out to protest and the government just couldn't care less.
No, let me be honest with you. No government, not the Nigerian government, no government in anywhere in the whole world can ignore 7 days protest. Government under Asiwaju cannot. They have no capacity to ignore protests in Eagle Square for 3 days. Let's not even go to 7.
I mean, if they are all behaving themselves and just shouting at the Eagles,
they don't have that capacity. The federal government of Nigeria, under the leadership of Asiwaju,
break it down.
or
How?
any other one, does not have the capacity to ignore 3 days protest in Eagle Square. I challenge you. I'm coming to say whether the protest in Nigeria has been effective. Excellently, very effective. Very, very effective. What do you mean by being effective? One, if it is negative effect, prevention of people from walking and all that, that is not always the case, but it helps. If you go back, the government of today didn't start from Asiwaju. Let's go back to Obasanjo. Oshomole used to be a labor leader. Our price, this subsidy they are removing today, started from Obasanjo wanting in a way to remove it. We woke up one New Year day, the whole toll gate in the whole Nigeria was demolished by Obasanjo. Asiwaju didn't start it because people say, okay, we have been fighting this. Let me tell you, do you know why people left subsidy? Not that they couldn't fight. Since all the people that campaigned in the last election talked about this subsidy, so when Asiwaju now removed it, they say, okay, let us even
let it
maybe that is why not that Nigeria couldn't really fight it.
Do you agree that the 2020, and I'm going to come back to you, do you agree that the October 2020 protest, the Lekki toll gate situation, discouraged a good number of Nigerians from protesting?
In a way, it contributed, But Nigerians are still not discouraged from protesting if the government will allow them. Nigerians are still ready to protest. Okay, Nigerians are very ready to protest. Look at Nnamdi Kanu's own. Police brought out court order in the night. Was there protest or not? There was. When Nigerians want to protest, they will.
Now, what do you think we should expect from this protest that would happen tomorrow, or that is scheduled to happen tomorrow? Do you think the government is just going to open the gates and let the protesters out? Because I mean, there are very strong terms, strong charges against these people. Some of them, the government say, "Oh, this is treason. They were trying to disrupt the peace. They tried to overthrow the government." So many strong words that were used. What do you think is going to achieve tomorrow?
Firstly, I expect Nigerian police to come out with their court injunction stopping the protest by 6 p.m. today, when nobody will see it, and to hold people to that. Secondly, and when government charge some people for treason for protesting, I don't get it. People like Gumi is working free, that is supporting bandits, those that are killing people, destroying properties, making our life unbearable. You're charging somebody for treason, for in his view, for saying that your economy, their policies has not worked.
To me, it doesn't even need to be comparative. The right to protest and do it peacefully is from the Constitution directly.
Yes, but if there's an injunction stopping people from going out to protest, if the government, like he says, "Oh, don't go out to protest."
I tell you, there's nothing like perpetual injunction. There's no perpetual injunction. If you have injunction, barely 7 days, 14 days, or whatever, there's no perpetual injunction. Do you understand? And
so they should wait and do it again.
An example. If God forbid it, if there's going to be an accident on the way, if you do not leave your house, you're not going to get involved in vehicle accidents. So can you say you are going to stay at home so you don't get involved in vehicle accidents all the days of your life? You won't ask people not to protest simply because hoodlums we hijack the protest. What you are saying is that the police are no longer capable of doing their work. Peaceful protest is part of normal life. So it is the duty of the police to ensure that any criminal element anywhere, whether in the protest, whether in the office, whether in the bank, whether in the market, not only protest, it is the duty of the police to fish out criminals anywhere. You won't ask people not to go to the market because there's going to be robbery in the market or people steal a lot in the market. That's why you have police. Why do we have police? Because we know there are criminals. So it is the duty of the police. So cutting it off shows that the police have been overpowered. They've lost the power to be able to prevent crime. Now, so all they want to do now is to prevent activity. This is fundamentally wrong because you can't sustain it perpetually. People must protest.
Got that. Now, some of these protesters that were arrested, we saw them, when they were arraigned, for the ones that were arraigned, right, in court, and they looked malnourished and just horrible. They were looking very scruffy and whatnot. Do you think that there's anything that would change? If at all they wouldn't be freed, at least that they would be cared for a little better, and their human rights, because tomorrow is Human Rights Day, that their rights would not be violated even though they are in custody?
No, it doesn't have to do with it. It has to do with our prison system, how they treat inmates, whether protesters or those waiting for trial, how they treat them has to change. They should be treated with dignity until their case are decided. So it has to cut across the board. But the issue still remains that these things they are raising, come and should look at it. You can't keep somebody in detention waiting for trial for years plus. For what offense? What is the highest possible penalty for protesting? And somebody will be in detention for 2 years without trial. So that
protesting illegally. So if there is anything like that.
Yeah, so because I get us to understand why. Because one of the basic and fundamental human rights of a Nigerian is the right to protest.
Certainly.
It's the right to gather and have an assembly, right? We have that right. Why would the government, and we've seen it happen with this administration, make it a habit that every time that citizens say, "Oh, we're unhappy with the situation, we're going to hit the streets," they go straight and get a court injunction to stop these people from exercising their human rights. And after these people have gone out to do that, you find out that the police is out. They're not they're not soft on these protesters. Even people are like, oh, don't go to work today because tear gas will meet you inside your car.
Exactly.
You know, it is brutal. You see the way they are beating on people as though they are criminal elements. I don't want to go back to what happened October 2020. I lost a friend personally, and I really don't like to revisit it because I'm like, let's move away from it and get better. But for an administration that benefited off of this particular act, the APC, they led protests. They enjoyed the dividends of protests. Why do they go ahead to stop people from also using that same right that they used?
Yeah, because we have weak institutions. People don't understand that the police is a creation of the Constitution. Police, as an institution, have the right not to obey an illegal order from the presidency, but they are not aware of that. Once an order is illegal, the police, as an institution, have the right not to carry it out. You can't order the police to shoot everybody in Uye. The police, Nigerian police, have right. For example, let's just say, Asuwaju says that, but I know he's not going to say that. But let's just say he says, okay, somebody insulted me in Uye. They refuse to bring out the person. Those things they used to punish us when we were in there. They say, well, who made noise now? Everybody, because all of you.
Everybody kneel down.
Everybody kneel down. If they try to do that, because A should not be held for the crime of B. It is illegal in Nigeria. Gone are those days when police will come and look for you. You are not available, they pick your mother. It is illegal today because you cannot hold B for a crime of A. You don't do that. So police, as an institution, they don't understand their rights and powers. They think that everything the presidency wants, even the one he has not wanted, they just believe that he would want it. They go ahead of the presidency
and they just
to start stopping protests. But the good thing now is that the police themselves are protesting. Retired personnel. I saw them.
This is not the first time that retired police personnel. They did in 2021. They did in 2023.
So they are beginning to see that the protest you are preventing today is going to come and meet you at some point.
Well, I really do hope that we understand we're all one Nigeria. Just before we close, if these protesters are not released tomorrow, which I believe they will not be released tomorrow, what do you think the next step?
Effectively.
I mean, if nothing is done, which I believe would happen, I'm sorry, I'm quite pessimistic when it comes to issues of the country. But if nothing happens tomorrow after the protest, what do you think the next step of the movement should be?
No, if not happens tomorrow, what they've done, they've created a consciousness about this issue in our hearts. A lot of us are on social media. A lot of us are on various platforms. We should make it a topic of discussion. We shouldn't let it slide. See, it's left for the people to demand for justice for them. Where they are, they couldn't do anything. So it mustn't be just protest. We'll have a platform here. We'll keep talking about it. Or their media platform, or their podcast platform. We'll keep talking about it. See, at a point, government will be forced to listen and do the right thing. But I don't subscribe to taking arm or disrupting the economy. But wherever it does now, we are faced us. But let's make it a burning issue, a topic that will resonate with everyone.
Well, the countdown to the 10th has already started. What will the Nigerian administration, what would the Nigerian government do? And what would the people do? We wait, we see, we will report. We'd also like to hear from you. Drop comments and we would read them and continue the conversation over there. Have a beautiful day for now.